We need to see rate cuts. Jerome Powell, give us rate cuts so we can see XRP to $20. Jerome Powell, I need you to do the rate cuts now. So that would be nice. I'm pretty sure he was talking about being fired. And guys, I really appreciate all your efforts on this channel. Look, this stuff ain't cheap. This camera isn't cheap. But again, I don't need anything. I just like talking about content. Having your time, me giving you this info is what I promised myself to do. In 2021, I saw people that didn't know what they were buying. And me explaining this to you basically gives me fulfillment to explain you what actually is going on when you buy a cryptocurrency. Because what I saw in 2021 is people bought Shiba Inu and they didn't know what they were buying, right? They just know they held a token. So that's the real important factor to me. Not money, not any financial incentive. But anyway, we got to check what Jerome Powell is talking about.
What about Charles trying to debunk the 600 million ADA Act? Not feeling.
So yeah, look at this. This is now he's falling for grace. I'm trying over generic. So if we jump right into the news, XRP payments explode. So this is the first thing that we're seeing.
He also said that there's been potential or substantial softening in the labor market, right? So if the labor market's starting to soften up, we got to lower rates. Why? Because then businesses can rehire because it's cheaper to do so. He also said that the economy was poised to grow at a much slower pace this year. This is the thing, okay? What's going on right now is you've got some bigs in the Fed saying, yo, it's time to cut rates. Now, what is Jerome Powell saying? He's saying, yo, we're waiting for the data.
So yeah, Jerome Powell doesn't want to cut the rates yet because he's afraid that if he cuts the rates like 3 points, it could be that we are seeing cryptocurrency basically jump sky high if we see the rate cuts. But Jerome Powell is afraid that we could still be in a recession, and Trump is saying this recession doesn't exist. Okay, I just pumped the crypto markets. Is that a recession, right? Look at how much crypto markets are pumping. But Jerome Powell wants to be like conservative. He wants to feel safe. Again, look at this, 95% we're getting a cut because also Trump wants it. And if Trump wants it, Trump's going to get it, right? Because it's going to be good for the market. But look, no change 95% and ease 5% and hike 0%. So the thing here is they're thinking about firing Jerome Powell for that way. So is Jerome Powell going to get fired? I don't know. I think it's very hard to fire someone in power like that.
We have, everyone, a 60% chance that we're going to have a cut. Now,
yeah, so this just changed, like 60% chance for a cut. Again, this was after Jerome Powell was basically confirmed to be fired. Again, if they can do it fast enough, maybe he's going to be pressured. Again, this could be good for the crypto markets. I don't want to see anyone being fired or anything, but just think about it. Rate cuts usually made cryptos like XRP explode. So yeah, it would be good. You know, it's basically like a sacrifice. And Trump is very vocal about it. It would not be only good for crypto, but also the stock market. But Jerome Powell, I also understand his point. Guys, we've been in a 3-year recession where people lost their houses, where people lost their jobs post-COVID. People lost everything. Banks were literally failing. You know, and that's not that far ago. That was 3 years ago. People entered depression. People were saying that this is going to be the end of financial system. Well, we somehow recovered suddenly, right? And nobody predicted that. So that's the important factor here.
Hovering around those September expectations. So once we get past the July meeting, we got to start asking ourselves, is the market going to start pricing in a quarter cut? All right, I'm going to give you some XRP news that's going to help you out with a ton of stuff. And this is why people love the channel. No hopium, no BS. I give you the straight stuff, and I help.
On-chain activity surges past $1 billion in transfers. Like, look at that. That means the billionaires and millionaires are trading. Guys, we cannot get to this volume unless it's rich people coming in. And exactly as we were talking 5 minutes ago, rich people are in fact coming into XRP. So yeah, pretty big news.
You decide for the action. XRP price
will be big news. Data play. That would definitely be very good news and welcome. I definitely agree with this. This would be the biggest indicator. And again, if the news is bad and we get rate cuts, oh boy, we could be heading into a recession, right?
Rally strengthens as on-chain activity surges past 1 billion in transfers. On July 18th, XRP posted over 1 billion in transfer volume across accounts, the highest in more than a month. That's actually pretty juicy. Okay, now here's what you want to see. What do payments and accounts look like? Well, I've got this up on the screen. And again, we can track all this stuff. As you can see, payments really aren't going up over time.
So yeah, it seems like it's getting more of whales. So if you look at these institutions here, number of active accounts is the same, but it seems like either these whales are waking up, and that's exactly what I'm telling you. XRP burn is not a meme. It's a real thing, guys. Look, XRP burned. Okay, how much is burned per day? $15,000. I guess that's 3,000 XRP, right? So some days it's actually $50,000. So I'm guessing this is maybe like $9,000 per day. But again, this is $9,000 a day removed forever. These $9,000 a day will potentially jump up in the future. So just think about that these burns, $9,000 is a lot of money when it adds up. Plus, we could be getting more.
Now, that being said, a lot of that can change when what? When the Clarity Act passes and people feel more comfortable.
Yeah, people right now are feeling scared to use this because they're afraid, what if my digital identity is tied to this? Like that's why it's so bad right now, why nobody's using these layer 2, layer 3, because there's no point. They can just use the banks. But once the transactions come in, once they know that they can get paid their salaries through crypto and exchange it to real life money, because what happens if you try to exchange your crypto to real life money? You get a ton of problems, right? In some countries, like all these stuff, because they still don't know what crypto is. There's still a lot of regulatory and legal issues, but they're trying to change that, and they're trying to get people paid on the ledger itself, on this blockchain, where the payments are fast, where the payments are automatic. Like people will have little companies will probably set up XRP and send each month, and they could probably fire a few accountants and save money that way. They don't have to pay these transfers, right? It makes total sense for anyone in XRP Street. And again, once big companies use this could be millions and millions of dollars coming in. So look at that, 3,344 XRP burned, which is $10,000 per day.
That, oh man, the burn rate of XRP is going to be freaking huge. No, the burn rate actually sucks. On most days, we're burning less.
Okay, so just so you can ease that in, every single month, XRP has $300,000 less of supply. This is like if someone threw their all $300,000 of money in a bag and burn it on the street and let people watch. If you ever watched Mr. Robot, that's exactly like that clip. They pour out the money, $300,000, like this big envelope, and they throw it on the street and they let people watch it burn. So this money is going to be gone forever. So just to tell you how much money is in XRP, we're never going to be seeing this money.
Than 3,000 XRP a day. Yeah, you heard me correctly. 3,000 a day. What are you going to do with it? That's not burning that much, but that's why. Because XRP...
It adds up. It will add up.
...is so cheap in order to move money. So... don't think of the burn rate as something that's going to, what everyone, cause hardcore price action. My point about this is you're going to see a lot of articles and a lot of news agencies promoting this hopium BS. And let me share with you a super secret. All right, check this out. All right, there is a publication out there called Times Tabloid. If you see an article from them, bullshit. Kid you not. 99.99% of the time, it's BS hopium. And I swear,
that's what I'm seeing in XRP right now is people say, that it's going to have 100 scale target, but the issue is what I do on this channel is actually see the real news. Like XRP price prediction after monster 40 billion inflow in a week. Expert reveals XRP's real supply. Over 85% locked or lost. See? So all of the supply is locked or lost. Again, a lot of it is locked because it's owned by the company.
This tabloid is owned by people on Twitter that also promote the BS. Here, this is how you can tell. Here's an article from Times Tabloid. Erag Crypto predicts $37 XRP after spotting this indicator.
I mean, guys, we got to get to $10 first before we see like $37. Keep the hopium down. So the only trade news price has muscle memory. May I ask what kind of trader you are? Speculation, I only see what's in the market. Exactly. This is speculation. This is not true.
All right, let's see what else did Times tabloid publish.
Like, this is speculation from my side, but once we get more activity, that would be very nice.
XRP just entered its parabolic phase. Analysts.
Personally, I don't trade, so I trade only like with $20, but seeing this news, like, I guess it's for clicks, right? And you gotta really check that we gotta get to $5 before we ever get to $37. Like, there has to be a ton of burn for that.
That $100 log scale target. Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. Here's another one from them. Software dev projects $59 XRP based on Ripple's Swift target. Market strategists predict timeline for XRP to hit 6.
Yeah, so seeing retail buying the tops at the 1 hour check, Bitcoin its volume at the top. Yeah, and I'm seeing that for XRP as well. Like, so many are buying and trading right now. That's what's crazy. Literally everyone is buying at this point. They're buying up and down, which is very nice, actually. They're buying a very big amounts, and this is what happened, you know, like years ago, you couldn't trade XRP, but finally, you can do that.
Shit. All right, overall in the crypto.
You can finally do that, and that's why big whales are in XRP right now. They're buying and selling crypto, and when you're buying and selling crypto, you're basically making, you know, you're talking about it, it's creating hype, and that's just extremely bullish.
The market, things are looking hot as the altcoin season is 52 out of 100. But in the beginning, what did I mention? Doge. And the reason Dogecoin is important is because,
like, everything is creating tons of volume right now, and this is, to me, is just bullish. Like, everything we're talking about is a good indicator, and people not selling, you know, their XRP at $3.4 is bullish as well. People not selling at 116,000. Remember how many people said that they will sell 100,000 Bitcoin? Never happened. Never happened. You know, people were saying as soon as Bitcoin is 100,000, I'm selling all of it. They waited, 110,000 came. They didn't sell. 100,000 came, never sold. 120,000 came, they still don't sell. And this is just bullish, right? Because if this is the price of Bitcoin and people don't sell, when will they sell? Is it 150,000? Is it 170,000? Nobody knows. You know, the future market drives prices now, you know? I agree. We need spot support price.
XRP.
Yeah, fully agree.
XRP hit its parabolic phase, $100 log scale.
We want to see $100 XRP. We got to be seeing plenty of trades. Plenty. Like, that's what I'm checking on the BitUnix right now, where I'm partnered. Like, they're giving me ton of info on what's going to pump and not. Like, what's trading right now. You never know what's going to pump because it's very hard to predict. But these rate cuts, bullish.
Girlfriends.
Like, for me, it's bullish. Like, historically, data proven bullish.
So again, if you're following channels out there and they're like, bro, they're going to cut it 100 basis points. Bro, emergency meeting. There's no fucking emergency meeting. They sure as hell ain't cutting it 100 points because guess what they're doing this month? 95.3% chance that what? They're going to pause. Do you believe Charles in his, audit? I don't know. The dude lied about rubbing shoulders with people.
Again, there's plenty of non-XRP news here, but what we are seeing right now is there are big whale players wanting to enter a market, but they cannot because of the regulatory oversight. So that is my opinion. Again, this is not like any facts or anything, but from what I'm seeing is the big institutions cannot buy it yet because they do not have the green light. And I think the bill by September could really pump the bill that everybody was waiting for.
Just like that.
So yeah, let's check this guy out.